for being here on this episode. It means a lot for me as well as our team for knowing your experience so far in VLSI industry. And yeah, just let's start with a quick round of your introduction, starting from like where are you from which college have you done your graduation, and what was your experience so far?
Okay, so thank you, Sanket and VLSI for All team for inviting me. And so I'm from Delhi, and I did my bachelor's in ECE from Delhi Technological University. And I worked for 4 years at Texas Instruments India after my graduation. And after 4 years working at TI am now doing masters at Uiuc, again in ECE. And my main choice of subjects is all this circuits, VLSI.
Nice. So ma'am, like EC is a vast field. So how do you decided, and what was that break-even point that you like decided to move into career of like circuits and VLSI?
So actually in college, we all used to do projects, all these hands-on embedded systems projects with some signal processing and all this we used to do. But in sixth semester, I had a very nice teacher, this Professor Neeta Pandey ma'am, and she taught VLSI, and she taught it so well that was my first sort of introduction, or not introduction, rather motivation to get into this field of VLSI and circuits, because I understood it pretty well through her. And that's how I even sat for the placements, prepared for the placements, right? So I saw like maybe for hobbies and all, or just to get hands-on stuff, I can do all this embedded and the microcontroller and stuff. But if I want to make a living out of something, then I guess I want to get into circuits.
Right. And like the Texas Instruments was your first company, right?
Right.
Yeah. So was it like on campus?
This was on-campus placement. So I think TI was the second company that came to the campus in August 2016. And yeah, I mean, they had like two rounds. Actually, no, they had 3 rounds. So first round was just a written exam. And then they like selected some students out of the written exam, all the standard digital, analog, and aptitude questions. And then, I went through 2 rounds, 2 verbal rounds, which those TI guys, they had their questions, they had asked their questions. And then finally an HR round, which is more of a formality, but yeah, like that.
So like, were you aiming for like particular role into VLSI when you were like giving interviews and like aptitude rounds for this company, or like you were just assigned on some analog or digital part after you were able to crack all their rounds? Like, did you had any focus into like you wanted
I think
to?
I was focusing more on the analog side that time. I was focusing more on the analog side. And I think the way they had grouped the students, like whether analog interviews or digital interviews, that was based on like, I think the marks, like, if it's more marks in analog, then go to analog. So it was that's exactly how it
So like
was.
the written test have like both the combination of digital and analog.
Yep.
And based on
and there were some aptitude questions as well. Yeah.
Okay, aptitude in the sense puzzle, like general.
Yeah, all those logic questions, and those standard aptitude questions, which at least like tests that you can solve those not technical, but then those on the spot, those questions. Yeah.
Right. And like afterwards you were given for like chosen for which position, like analog specifically, what the position name was?
So my designation was analog design engineer. That was the designation. Yeah, I guess it depends from company to company how they put their designations. Some of the companies, they kind of have this engineer, senior engineer and stuff, or I think there is in software side, it's SDE and then
Yeah.
SDE2, stuff like that. I'm not completely aware, but I just know from far.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think
It's right.
in NTI, it was like you are an analog design engineer for the lot of time. They didn't change your designation. It was like I think they just changed the job grades and stuff from promotions. And that's all it
Got
was.
it. And like, can you just give us a glimpse of what was your work like? Like, I know about like VLSI front end, like we do for a design engineer, they code on Verilog for verification. Maybe they would be doing stuff
I've done that
processing
as
Verilog.
well.
Okay, so like, what was your role to be specific?
So we basically I was a part of the team that used to design chips for voltage level translators. And so as a team we used to make those logic gates, voltage level translators, buffers, all these things. And initial my role was more into the design phase, where I studied this architecture of the circuit, the chip, and then uh, analyzed that, did some simulations. And then I got more into the verification phase. So in the verification, although my product was the schematic, the analog circuit, the schematic, but I have the familiarity with system Verilog, AMS as well, because
Mm.
we used to use a UVM system Verilog setup to verify these circuits. So yeah, I guess that was why I have to say this, that this was a unique part in our uh, in this setup. Like whenever I tell people, even in my interviews over here, that we use UVM system Verilog to verify analog circuits, there's always a question
Yeah,
how. But like, yeah, that was fun. Yeah,
yeah. Means actually, I see that you got like a combination of everything on your plates, like analog,
that was
digital.
that was one of the things about working at TI. They made you work on everything basically.
Right. Great. And like the question arises, like you were already doing great at TI and everything was sorted out. Like then why did you actually choose for masters? Was there any specific reason for that?
So when I got the job in 2016 and then I entered the job force in 2017, I thought my life was set. Now it's like done.
Mm,
But I think at this time, at this age, we guys should not settle like one job, one team, done. No,
mm,
because then you'll get stagnated, and that is what I started to feel, that I'm doing the work, but there's nothing new to learn. Like
mm,
the work learning in the work has got saturated now, and I need to learn more. I need to build more skills if I have to get to the next level, if I want to contribute more to my field, and if I want to also contribute for myself, because I also need to get promotions and stuff later on. So I cannot
mm.
do that if I don't have more learning, don't have much to give. That's why I've decided I need to join masters and also get into the design phase of things. Yeah.
Okay. Like, did you ever thought of like switching company rather than doing master?
I actually thought about, why not switch a team within the same company? Why not switch companies? But I felt that's not the root cause of why I'm not feeling right.
Mm,
Like I felt I wanted to go back to school, do those circuits again, do those grueling, grinding homeworks again, which I was doing before this. Because I felt that everywhere the work is just gonna saturate, and if I don't have anything new to offer,
mm.
it's not gonna work out well. Yeah, I might be just given some small work here and there. So yeah.
And so it's safe to say that you wanted to come out of that comfortable zone and also like you want to like re-enjoy that student life. I think.
Yeah, you can say that. But I guess once you come to the master's level or PhD level,
Mm,
I don't consider that I'm just a student now. That
mm,
is like student, I was in bachelor's, but now I
mm.
don't consider myself much a student. Yeah.
Right. And like, do you think one should actually do masters after having like experience, or like they should actually go directly after graduation?
This is my personal opinion that you should have some 2 to 3 work years work experience, because it gives you a context behind whatever you have learned. And when you come back to masters, you come with a context, you understand, okay, this is how this what I'm doing is important, and you can ask the right questions. So
Right. And why do you thought specifically USA or abroad in general and maybe not in India? Is it due to international exposure or something else?
I guess uh, with India, I mean, um it's not a lot of institutions which offer good education. Honestly, I feel. Um,
Specifically in VLSI.
yeah, yes, and at master's level, I'm not speaking of bachelor's. At master's level, there are not a lot of institutions which offer good education, and uh, the kind of environment you see here is different than India. In US, it's a different work. It's a different environment. It's less focus, much less focus on rote learning and more understanding, and you know, so that culture is to yet to be there, yet to sort of begin in India. I don't know. I don't think there is such a culture right now in India in any of the colleges, and it's also like tough to get those things, like you study for gate again and do all that, and ultimately you might just land up in another company. So I don't know.
And let's talk about your profile. How it look like? Like, did you have? Of course, you would have appeared for GRE and TOEFL. I assume. So, can you just give a brief about like what was your GRE score, TOEFL, and CGPA, and SOP and LR, whatever?
Okay, so uh, my GRE score was 319. My what was the analytics, the writing part, basically the writing part, that was 4, and TOEFL was 110, and the SOP LOR procedures. So I mean, of course, it's one's personal statement. Like there's not a specific way probably to write, but I guess the one advice would be that get it reviewed by relevant people, not every person, but get it reviewed by relevant people, by seniors who are in the US, studying in the US. And I think there's actually a fixed pattern of how you can do the SOP, like an introduction, short introduction about yourself, and then the
Yeah, nowadays,
college.
like actually, this is done by many of the consultancy. Like, I don't think you joined any consultancy at
No,
your
I
time.
didn't join. I
Yeah,
didn't
it is
join.
done by now consultancy. Like, it
I,
is
I
doesn't.
guess I was like,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if VLSI for all offers that. I don't know. I don't
not
think
the
so.
VLSI for all, but there are consultants who actually makes SOP and LOR in the proper way, uh, to just make it less hassle for someone who is working.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, if somebody finds that comfort zone there, it's fine. But ultimately, it should be your words and your content that is important, because the universities want to see you, so that's important. And all this LOR, yeah. So advice on the LOR would be that you have to start the LOR process early enough, because LOR depends on the other persons also. So don't wake up one day and give just give 2 weeks to the
Just
professors,
give them
just
idea
give.
beforehand, like 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah, yeah. And somebody who is still like 1 year, like if you're thinking that, oh, 1 year later I'm going to do, then just contact the professor early on, as you said, that you will be doing it, and contact those professors whom you have worked with, I guess. Don't just some random person. Try to avoid random professors, because you don't know, firstly, they may not be so much reachable or reliable to you, and the other hand, you don't know what they're going to write. It's also good sometimes to just give them the LOR made by you, so that they can get ideas what they can write. That will be easy. I did that for actually my managers. I did that, but like it just was easier for them to just fill in words and put in stuff then.
Right, right, right. And I think that is a pretty solid profile. So I'm also interested in knowing your like admits. Which college did you applied? And what were your admits?
So I applied to like seven, eight colleges,
Mm.
and I guess my main focus for applying was that I wanted to have a semester system instead of a quarter system, so that like some of the colleges I know go for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
quarter system. I wanted to avoid that. I was like, I want more semester system, and that was the major thing. And I guess those, the most of those top colleges, and then some moderate, and then some uh, mm, what do you call that, the safe colleges. So UIUC was there, Purdue was there, then I applied to Penn State, Virginia, ASU, TAMU. mm, I think these ones, I don't remember which one else.
Okay, what
Probably I think UT also,
UT Dallas
these
maybe?
UT Austin as well.
Mm-hmm.
um I guess these are most of the colleges. Yeah.
Right. So like with 320 score and like I think you might have got admits from area of them.
Yeah, most of them. Although I mean, it's not necessary about the score as well. It's also the
Mm-hmm.
SOP.
Mm-hmm.
So I do admit that somewhere I know, like some of the colleges, my SOP I think wasn't very direct to the directly addressing the professor. So that is important. You have to address the professor directly. I think in some of the SOPs, one SOP particularly, I had addressed the group, the group, the project group, rather than just the professor, the main professor in his work, highlighting the work. So that kind of took it easily, and that's where I did not get admitted there. But I mean, I won't name the stuff, and but point being that yeah, I'm just happy with
Yeah,
the choice that I finally made with UIUC.
UIUC is a great college. So like how was your experience so far at UIUC?
It's been good. It's been good. It's been pretty hectic as well, and uh, pretty good learning with all these. They have different components actually. Every course has got different components. So they would have homeworks to give. They will have this homework slash assignments, projects, exams are anyway the common thing within here in the US.
Right.
And all these lab work is there, which really teaches you a lot.
Mm.
Like specifically, when I took computer architecture course last semester, so they had this thing where you design the whole pipeline processor with
Nice.
all this cache design, and with the pipeline processor you could add a lot of features as well, like a branch prediction, and what else, like you could add you could, if you I mean, there were people to help you out, the TAs were there to help you out with this. You could make a superscalar out of order processors, all these things. When you actually make it, I think you kind of learn more.
Yeah, and like you have opted specifically in specialization in VLSI, or like you are trying out like other stuff too.
That's a good question, because I was trying out, because I was, as I said earlier, that I was actually in the middle, right? Because I was dealing with analog circuits, but also I use the UVM and SV platform. So I was in the middle, and I wanted to explore, is the computer architecture, or the core VLSI, I would call it, is that for me? Do I really like it? And realize probably not. Maybe I want to get more into the circuits, more inside the thing. I don't want to go into the abstraction. I don't want to remain in the abstraction level. I want to go into the circuits part. And maybe because of the TI experience, I have more
Yeah,
context into the circuit. So, but yeah, it's all connected. It's like, if you have the knowledge of computer architecture, you can do well here as well. So
right.
it's
Even like
always good.
it is advice for someone who is already have done like with very long VLSI or everything. The computer architect would be a next wide step to take.
It's too good. You should.
Yeah,
I mean, anyone who is into core digital has should take this course to get a proper context. Even if you're in verification, you don't want to go into digital design, you should do this course, because after all, you are going to be verifying these protocols and stuff related to what is used in computer architecture. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Okay. And like, how are you actually managing your expenses? Like, did you actually receive any scholarship, or like you're doing part-time for like managing?
Um,
Yeah.
I'll be doing internship to basically cover my costs now.
Mm.
So I've had a mm, self-paid program now. I've made it now. Thing is that this is a very personal choice of finance, because for me, I work for 4 years. I am in a level that I can go ahead and spend money, uh, and because there is now a pending internship, I can I am getting the return on investment. So I chose a self financing program.
Just
But
let me get clear. Like, self-finance program, is it specifically to UIUC? Like, what is that
uh,
program about?
it's it's specifically to the program that I have chosen at UIUC. I've chosen
Mm.
the MH program at UIUC. So specifically to that, uh, some colleges would have this. Some means that it's gonna depend. That if in some of the colleges, uh, you can take some RA-ship or TA-ship. Uh, Over here with this program, the MH program, uh, I'm not allowed to take an RA-ship or TA-ship. So it has to be a self-finance program for me. For it's a personal choice. If somebody does feel that the finance is going to be a problem, then you must choose a program where you can get a TA or RA-ship or something like that.
Like, the self-finance program, is it like co-op, or like you do another?
You have to pay your own money. That's what it is.
Okay, okay. Like, you are paying your own money. That's what you're calling. So,
Yeah.
okay. I think even TARAs are like more provided to like research-based programs and not MH or course-based program. Yeah.
Right. RA, yes. TA-ship, I mean, because TA-ship doesn't have any research component, it's gonna depend. Like in some colleges, I know that you can get, even if you're doing all courses, you can get a TA-ship. They allow you to do that. With UIUC, it's a specific kind of thing that, okay, for this MH program, you would not get to do a TA or RA-ship. So yeah.
Got it, got it. Yeah, and like how do you see, like, what are your further
Mhm.
plans? Are you planning to like get a full time? Of course, you would be having some like plans regarding getting a full-time job or something. But other than that, like, what is that one thing you think your career would be heading towards?
Mm. They're asking about the
Yeah, your
future
future plans.
goals.
Yeah, future goals. Anything
Yeah, I mean, work in the industry, as you said
else?
right now. That would be the aim. Where I'm internship, where I'll be, the place where I'll be interning. So explore like whether I like the work over there, whether they like my work, and if stars align, I might just work over there, or I can go ahead and apply elsewhere, work in the industry and gain that experience once again.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
the
and like, what is like the scope of VLSI over there? Of course, it would be great, but
it's a
like, what?
huge scope. A
Yeah.
lot of companies are here. Like you can just find on the LinkedIn itself that there are a lot of companies
Mm.
in specifically in the California, Austin region. Obviously, there are more, but these are the places that I'm specifically looking for. So I mean, you have a specific question as to what opportunities you're asking, or
Yeah, I mean, just a general scope of VLSI. You answered that, right? And other than that, like, is there any particular position this time you're looking for? Like you said, you did masters to move little bit into design side. So, like, any
yeah,
particular position?
analog design is what I will be moving
Okay,
into.
fine, fine. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. We would be heading towards the end of this session. But before
Okay.
that, do you have any general advice for our audience?
I
Yeah.
okay. Try to figure out, like, try to, experiment stuff as much as possible when you're early, so that you know what you want early enough. And like, it's okay to not know things, because when you enter the industry from college, you will realize that there are a lot of people who know a lot of things, and they know much more than you. So don't be intimidated, because like, you have to learn from them, and then you're going to go elsewhere and then teach other people. So that's how it happens. So yeah, that's definitely a good advice for a fresher, that even if you don't know certain things, it's okay, you will learn eventually.
Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being on this particular episode. It was
Thank you.
great talking to you, and all the best for your career ahead.
Yeah, thank you, and all the best to you guys. All right.